to this concept, Sounds of Home. And the aim of Sounds of Home is to create a deeper connection between musicians and audience. Normally, you go to a concert, you see a concert, and you walk away, and that's it, right? Today, we want to create something that you inspire the musicians, and the musicians inspire you. This was designed by someone, and that someone is called Julia Koenen. She works for a music meeting since last year. She graduated at the HKU in Utrecht. And for her thesis, she created this concept, Sounds of Home. And this is the first time, this is the world premiere, so have fun. Let me introduce the musicians first. On my left side is Eliane Correa. She's a piano player. Yeah, please.
Thank you. Thanks.
Eliane is a piano player, composer. She is a band leader, ethnomusicologist. She is a connector, a connoisseur, but also now studying a PhD with an incredible, fantastic theme. And she has been here before. Did you see Eliane before at music meeting? She was Artist in Focus in 2019, for example. And last year she was a host, but she also gave a lecture on women in Latin music, for example. Lya Reis Guerrero. Yes.
Thank you.
She is actually from Venezuela, Caracas, but also has like a Portuguese background. And she lives in London, just like Eliane. And she is very active in different musical scenes in London. She has played with the Afrobeat Beat Collective, but also with Eliane a lot, Vara, and with Jules Holland even. And today they will be playing with COLECTIVA, like the end act in Zero. So if you want to check them out with the whole band, please do. Then, the theme of today is feeling at home. What does that mean for you? And it's interesting since both Eliane and Lya do have mixed backgrounds. Eliane lives in London, Lya lives in London, but Eliane has like 5 different backgrounds. I'm not sure. And Lya has also. Tell me a little bit about that, please.
So, one of the reasons that I love this concept so much is that I don't adhere to any singular concept of home in terms of one geographical space. I was born and grown in Luxembourg, not far from here, but I grew up in an entirely Spanish-speaking immigrant community. Like, we never integrated, so it was a non-country. And eventually I got moved to Cuba halfway through my teenage years. That's where I studied music, etc. And my dad was Argentinian. I have a big Argentinian family in Buenos Aires. And on my mom's side, they're Cubans. They're also Spanish, so it's a big mix over there. And I've been living in London long enough that I also kind of feel at home there. So I get to travel in between all of these different places, and everywhere I go, I still feel at home. So for me, home is a very portable concept, thanks to that. And so whenever people ask me, where are you from? The answer is now, no. Buy me a drink and I will explain the whole story, and you can decide for me which country you want to label me with. But yeah, it's kind of made me really not believe so much in countries. So I have this really multicultural identity. So that's why this is so interesting.
That's why you're here today, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, great. Yeah. And Lya, do you relate to that? If people ask where you're from, do you say no, please buy me a drink, or what is the answer?
I mean, I think when I left my country, I was in a bit of a divorce because of the political situation. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna say it, But now I'm very proud living Australian. I'm half Portuguese because my grandfather was from there. But I didn't play Latin music there because my background, it was rock and punk like teenagers, they don't really pay attention to Latin music. My group of friends, they were all like into American pop and rock, and literally missing all these genres when I was living in London. It kind of like made me feel like, man, I really need to go back to my roots. And now that I'm older, I appreciate more the folkloric music that we have there, and I investigate about it, study properly about it. So yeah, it's been a bit of a mix, also because London gave you so many options in terms of culture. Like, you meet people from everywhere, Africa, like anywhere. And then that influence, it can really change your playing, what you're listening, like anything.
But then you say that you are now studying your roots, your Venezuelan roots, but do you also study your Portuguese roots?
I'm into that now recently,
Right.
yeah. But Portuguese music's a bit more deep. So
Yeah.
it
And
takes time.
Eliane, what happened with you? Because when you went to London, your focus was what?
So I arrived in London after spending a bunch of years in Havana, and sort of my standard music mode was Cuban music. I still wake up in the morning, and to me, normal music to play is Alain Perez. You know, it's the music of Cuba today.
Alain
That's my
played here last
normality.
year, by the
Yes.
way. Yeah, one of
If you
Cuba's
were there,
stars.
how good was it? Anyway, so a little bit like with Lya, you know, when you're living, I was living in Havana, and you didn't question how important the music you're listening to really is. For me, actually, I went from a classical background in Luxembourg when I was smaller to in Cuba. I really got into the whole Cuban music scene, but not as a big deal. It was just something that just landed on me as part of the everyday normality. And I made friends with a lot of people that played a lot of jazz as well. But it's only when I got to London that I kind of took a step back and realized that I had a musical identity that's unique. Because in Cuba, you don't really get to do that, you know, because you're so in this huge music world that's so intense, and there's so much music going on there that you don't really stop and think about all the other things that you are if you're not born and raised there. So for me, it was be in Cuba and just exist as part of this scene and learn and watch and just integrate. And then I got to London, I'm like, yeah, but also this and this and this. So, you know, what did I learn in Luxembourg? I used to produce hip hop when I was a teenager, you know, like what happened to that? What happened to all the jazz and all the tango I was listening to at home as
It's
a
like
kid?
a search to your own identity,
Yeah,
musical
and
identity in this case.
Exactly,
right?
and,
Yeah.
and the great thing about London is that, you know, like the same way as Lya, it kind of crystallizes all of the parts of your identity that make you different and special, because there's so many people from everywhere
Yeah.
that, you know, what is your story to tell?
Exactly.
Okay, great, you play Cuban music, but what else? You weren't born in Cuba.
And definitely as a musician, this is very important because this is how you present yourself to the world, right?
Exactly.
Now comes the hard thing, the hard part. You'll have to mention some words that you associate with home, with the feeling at home. Is it possible for you even? And it can be 2 words as well. And Julia will help you. She will type it in on a form, and then it will appear on the screen together with some words that already were typed in by you as an audience. But later on, in a few minutes, I will give you the insights on how to do that. So please, Ellie, tell me, what kind of words come to mind?
I've been racking my head about this all morning, and really, like, there's just the one big word for me is family. You know?
Oh, it was already mentioned.
Oh, there we
actually.
go. Yeah.
That's a great one.
Oh, this is
Okay.
nice.
And can you
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about that word? Why?
So for me,
Like-
family goes beyond blood relations. There's big swathes of my family that I'm not even in contact with. My family is my friends. My family is this girl sitting here. Like, she's one of my best friends. We've been playing together 10 years, you know, like she puts up with me on a day-to-day basis. Like, that's family. To me, it's her. It's like some of the people from COLECTIVA I've known for years as well. It's my family as in blood, as in my sisters, my brother, my cousins, my parents, but also the friends that become your family, that become your home. You know, all of us, like most of my friends are immigrants just like her and me in London, and we don't have our parents with us. We don't have a family there. So we become each other's family. So for me, home is really just that.
That's beautiful. And do you have another word do you want to mention?
Actually, yeah, spices.
Spices. That's a great one. It's not
Yeah.
yet that.
So
Yeah,
it's
the word is
like food,
Yeah, but
but-
spices is nice as well.
How do you spice your food? Like, it's that's kind of what makes it home or not. You can make rice and chicken and it can taste totally foreign to you, but if you put the right spices on it, it's like, oh, like the way mum makes it,
So
you know?
tell me, what's your favorite spice then?
I put cumin on everything.
Cumin.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I heard Cuban, but it's cumin.
Oh God, yeah.
All right,
A
perfect.
little bit of cumin on everything. Well, that would solve a lot of problems, but yeah.
I love it. Spices and family. Lya, what about your spices?
We call her Spicy as a joke, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great
Yeah.
one. Good bridge.
I'm gonna go for the nature, and I'm gonna choose sea, like the sea,
Yeah.
because it's the place where I feel great.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me, I know that the sea is important to you, but why? Please explain a
I'm
little
an
bit.
addict to surf and to get waves, and yeah, it's just like mental health. I think everything wash out once you are there. You know, once that you get into the contact with the ocean, it's just really therapeutic, even if it's cold, like in England. But you do the job.
That's a great one. And do you have another one?
Parrots.
Parrots.
Yeah, because they are flying around Caracas freely.
Oh, that's
You
a
go
good one.
driving around the highway and there are just like 20 parrots, red, blue, green, everywhere.
So whenever you see them, you
Well,
think
yeah,
of Caracas
that's
and
it,
you're at
exactly.
home.
Exactly.
That's beautiful. So now the next challenge is for you, people in the audience. You see that you have these QR codes on the table. Well, they work when you properly use them. So with a distance, you take a picture, or not a picture actually. You just open your camera and you scan the QR code, and then you can fill in the form. And when I tried it, it didn't work sometimes. Then you have to keep your phone a little bit higher. Did it work there? Yeah? And then please fill in the form. You have a few minutes to do this. And if yours doesn't work, please go to the table next to you and scan it. Because we need your input. Although I see already some great words. Good food and drinks, family, nice bed.
Love is there. Oh, that's
Love.
beautiful. Yes.
Be who I am, warmth, relaxing, garden, feeling safe, a resting place.
A nice bed. I love that.
Yeah, right?
I agree. Whoever wrote that, absolutely.
Materiaal available, also. The kitchen, connection to people, music. Yeah, totally. Let me see, attention. Limburgse Bergen, that's a beautiful area in the south of Holland. It's fantastic.
Nice.
Quietness, privacy, work. Oh, that's a nice one. Shoes off. Who has his or her shoes off already? So that person doesn't feel at home yet. Did everyone succeed? Yeah, I think actually we have a nice display of what feeling at home could mean. So now the challenge is back to the musicians. And that is, please choose like 2 words for yourself that you want to use for the improvisation, because this is the core of today's exercise. Lya and Eliane will do an improvisation of about 5 minutes based on some words they pick from the screen. And this is how the improv becomes deeper and more real and has a guide. So how do you feel? Don't tell me the words. I think it's nicer if you just do your impro, and then afterwards we will guess. No. Are you
Okay.
more or less okay with this?
Yeah, no.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you pick your words?
Yeah.
Ready for the challenge?
Yeah. Lya?
Yeah.
So
Let's do it.
let's do it, right?
All right.
Okay. Then please give it up again for Eliane and Lya. Eliane Correa, Lya Guerrero.
There were too many words, so I just.
We could sit here for ages. Yeah. This was wonderful.
I took my shoes off. I was ready for it. Like,
right?
Yeah, shoes off. I'm good. Let's go.
Shoes off. Yeah, shoes off.
That's
Great.
what I was thinking of. Yeah.
So, an important question: what impact did those words have for you in your playing?
I was thinking about shoes off, and it really, really stuck with me because shoes off is what you do when you get home and you kick off your shoes and you go ah. But also, a lot of the dancing that people do in their backyards, you know, you have a bunch of drums, you have a bunch of rum, and you take your shoes off and you go for it. So like a lot of the Rumba I've danced in my life, I had no shoes on. You know, and so shoes off for me is also a dancing thing. So on one hand, it's the comfort of, I'm gonna, you know, watch some Netflix, but it's also the whole raising the dust with your feet, you know, like that's kind of like an image that feels very homely to me as well.
That's beautiful.
It's one of the few things I can really connect between this like really capitalist world and then Cuba and Latin America.
And I love that you applied it directly.
I was trying to feel, getting in the vibe, you know.
Great. Yeah. Lya, which word stuck to your mind?
My word was warmth and relaxing. I just switch off, and it was I felt like at home because it's also hot.
Warmth and
relaxing.
Relaxing.
Yeah. Well, this is her relaxing.
Yeah, exactly.
This is her notion of relax. Yeah, you don't want to see her when she's not.
No, but actually, it's true what you say, because this music you can only play when you think of it in a relaxed way, right? I mean, music is in between the notes, I think. So you have to be relaxed. And I think the best drummers and the best musicians, when you see them, they seem so relaxed when they play. That's great quality.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Thanks again, please.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.